Victor Wembanyama is stepping into the spotlight as the most extraordinary debut in sports history looms just a month away. Selected as the number 1 pick by the San Antonio Spurs, this 7'4" marvel defies all expectations. His height alone sets him apart as the tallest player in the NBA, but it's his skill and coordination that truly astonish. Wembanyama's prowess has earned him comparisons to LeBron James, with some even hailing him as the greatest prospect ever. While his rise may seem sudden to the public eye, those who have been following Wembanyama know that his trajectory has been over a decade in the making. So in today's episode, we'll explore how this exceptional player became the center of an unbelievable scandal and what it means for the future of basketball. Born on January 4, 2004 in Les Chesnay, France, Victor was destined for greatness from the start. His father Felix, a 6'6" Congolese athlete, excelled in track and field events like the high jump, long jump, and triple jump. His mother, Elodie, standing 6'3", was not only a former basketball player but also a coach. With such athletic genes, it's no wonder Victor was born to play sports. As a child, Victor's height was always a topic of conversation. No one could have predicted just how tall he would grow. Interestingly, his early years weren't solely dedicated to basketball. He also played football, where he mostly served as a goalie. It's intriguing to think what might have been if Victor had pursued football instead of basketball. A 7'4" goalie with an 8-foot wingspan would have been quite the sight on the soccer field. But basketball was in his blood. I had the choice, and I still have the choice to play or not play basketball, but basketball has always been around, Victor says. His family's history with the sport runs deep. His great-grandfather played for Paris University in the 60s, and his grandfather was a 6'7" dunking center. Victor started playing organized basketball at 7 years old with a local club in Les Chesnay. By 10, he was already a head taller than his peers and showing signs of his future dominance on the court. It was around this time that a coach from the French professional team Nanterre 92 spotted him. Initially mistaking Victor for an assistant coach due to his size, the coach quickly realized his potential and recruited him for their youth program. Victor's growth spurt wasn't just physical, his aspirations were growing too. He began envisioning an NBA future and took proactive steps towards it by teaching himself English in middle school. He knew that to succeed in the NBA, he would need to communicate effectively in English beyond what he learned in school. As a teenager, Victor immersed himself in English through Instagram videos and TV shows, preparing for a future in the NBA. By 13, his height had reached 6'10", a feature that alone turned heads. But it wasn't just his stature that was remarkable, it was his skill. His coach, Brian George, remembers Victor's debut on the U15 team vividly. The young giant caught a pass and, with astonishing agility for his size, stopped and shot a three-pointer that swished through the net. That moment was enough to make him a legend in the making. Word of Victor's talent spread rapidly. Scouts marked their calendars for his draft eligibility, and European teams vied for his commitment. Footage of Victor playing surfaced online, showcasing his smooth shooting form. He led his team to a U15 championship victory, fueling his hunger for success. At 14, Victor's coordination caught up with his height. His coach was convinced he was NBA-bound. That year, he played in Spain's Mini Copa del Rey with FC Barcelona, finishing third. Despite Barcelona's prestige, Victor declined their offer to join them permanently, seeking greater challenges. Returning to Nanterre at 15, Victor joined their senior team and moved into dormitories with a custom-made bed to accommodate his towering frame. His journey from a local club player to an international sensation is not just about physical growth, but also about personal evolution in the pursuit of excellence. By the time Victor Wembanyama was 15, he had grown to an astounding 7'2". His dedication to basketball was unwavering, but it wasn't without its concerns. His coach worried that the pressure might become too much for the young athlete. There were fears that one day Victor might walk away from the sport to seek a normal teenage life, yet his commitment never wavered. In the summer of 2019, scouts who had been hearing about this prodigy finally got their chance to see him play at the U16 European Championships. Victor didn't dominate offensively, averaging 9 points per game, but his defensive prowess was unmatched. He averaged 10 rebounds and an incredible 5.3 blocks per game, while committing only 8 fouls throughout the tournament. Despite falling short in the final against Spain, Victor's performance solidified his status as a future top draft pick. Fans around the world, including myself, were captivated by this young player who seemed destined to revolutionize basketball. The following season with Nanterra's senior team saw 15-year-old Victor getting limited play time. However, at 16, everything changed. He began playing in France's top league and immediately made an impact, averaging 15 points, 10 rebounds, and 4 blocks per game while shooting 44% from the field, and an impressive 36% from three-point range was unheard of for someone his age. Victor's height and skill were always intriguing, but now scouts witnessed him not just competing against professional adults, but excelling. Any doubts about his future in basketball were erased. At just 17 years old, he was set to represent France on the global stage at the 2021 Under-19 FIBA World Cup. The excitement was palpable as France showed their dominance throughout the tournament, with Wembanyama leading the charge. His average of 14.7 points per game was impressive, but it was his record-breaking 5.7 blocks per game that truly set him apart. His ability to protect the rim sent a clear message to competitors worldwide. He was a force to be reckoned with. France sailed through the tournament, reaching the final where they faced off against the United States. The game was billed as a clash of titans. Chet Holmgren, the top recruit in the U.S., versus Victor Wembanyama, the world's top prospect. Wembanyama shone in the first half, proving that he was the superior player on the court. However, the second half saw a shift as Kenneth Lofton, weighing in at 300 pounds, led a U.S. comeback. In a nail-biting finish, the U.S. clinched a victory with an 83-81 scoreline. Despite the loss, Wembanyama's performance had made it clear that he was on his way to greatness. Post-tournament, he made the move to join Asvel, owned by Tony Parker. Turning 18 during the season didn't slow him down. His averages of 18 points, 10 rebounds, and over 3 blocks were a testament to his continued dominance. With an unshaken draft stock and only a year away from the NBA draft, Wembanyama sought more control over his game. He transferred to the Metropolitans in Paris for precisely this opportunity. His stats improved further, and while he wasn't yet a household name outside of draft circles, this changed dramatically after one showcase event in Las Vegas against G League Ignite. Facing top prospects like Scoot Henderson, Wembanyama exploded onto the scene with 37 points and 5 blocks, and 7 three-pointers in his U.S. debut. He followed this up with another stellar performance of 36 points against Henderson again. In just days, he became widely known. The hype around him grew exponentially. NBA players were quizzed about him in post-game interviews. Wembanyama had become impossible to ignore and continued to live up to the growing expectations. Wembanyama's rise in French basketball was a sight to behold. His performances were so extraordinary that they filled highlight reels, like the time he missed a three-pointer only to catch it off the rim for a stunning putback dunk. As he turned 19, it was clear he was on a path to greatness. They made it all the way to the finals before being narrowly defeated by Monaco. The